Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm 1111 Tarot Babe, and I am here with a reading for Leo Sun, Moon, and Rising for August. The energy that's coming in. Hoping to get some details of what's exactly going on here today. So welcome if you came from AT Astro and me, Mike and I's collaboration. So I'm going to go into details here, pull some oracles, see if we can get some more messages. And if you haven't seen that, make sure you check the description box below. I will link how to find that video, and make sure you subscribe to his channel if you are into astrology. Even if you're not, so you can learn. You should be. Get into it. So we went over this spread, which was casted that day, and then he also talked about what's going on in the sky transit-wise and how this energy is playing out. So make sure you check that out. But let's dive into this and see what else we can find. So right away, you know, Leo has a lot of stuff going on for August. So big energy. We have the High Priestess, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and then we have some two figures on the side. We have the Knight of Swords and we have the Knight of Wands. So right away, what I feel like is that you're potentially dealing with people that embody these energies. You know, you might be one person, or you might have two people in your life that embody these energies, because court cards are generally going to represent an actual person. But it could be, I feel, and maybe it will be resonating more with more people this way, that it's actually you embodying both of these energies, and it's almost like it's a little bit in the negative. So and I will actually, you know, I'm going to pull some more cards to see if I can clarify that. But we have the Knight of Wands is very, you know, passionate, very powerful, a lot of force. And the Knight of Swords is the same way, but it's in an intellectual. They're a little bit colder. They're not, you know, it's not passion that's driving them. It's they're cold and calculating. They don't have a lot of emotions attached, but they do have this instinct. They like that thrill. You know, they like the thrill. The passion comes from the Wands, but there's like a thrill, a psychological aspect to that Knight of Swords. And so I feel like this is kind of energy that you are embodying with inside yourself. Like you're jumping back and forth between this very passionate going after something and this intellectual kind of almost what I hear is manipulative energy. And so you're going to have to be very mindful of that, because you have this just force coming down. You have this High Priestess energy, and you have the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune depends, like, you know, it's a fake card. It lets you know that that's something that has lined up in your life and is supposed to be happening, but how it plays out depends on what you were doing prior to. That wheel rolls over into whatever it's next to. So we have the High Priestess. There could be a huge shift, I feel, in your subconscious for negative or positive. And so if it is going into a positive, then these cards, if they're representing your energy, are going to be in its positive aspects, which they're still a little bit immature. So they're not in their full, you know, king and queen. And it's kind of a building energy. So you still need to be careful with that. But in their negatives, they're very, very negative. And you need to make sure that you aren't being ruthless, and you aren't being, you know, like messing with people's heads. You need to make sure that you aren't, you know, being the Knight of Wands is kind of like a fuckboy energy. Like you want to make sure you're not doing that, because it's going to come back and it's going to bite you in the ass eventually later on down the line, you know, this year. So this is energy that you're given, and it's fated, it's divinely placed. You're just gonna feel some kind of way. I don't even necessarily, there could be external events that happen, but I feel like a lot of this will just be a shift. Like it just, one day you're just feeling like all this passion and fire, but then also there's like an anger behind there too. So maybe there's been some situation that's upset you, but you need to manage it. This is a super powerful time if you were to take all of that and throw it into your work, to throw it into something creative, to throw it into, you know, maybe your body and into working out or something like that, to rechannel that energy into something that is positive and that is beneficial for you. You're going to have enough drive to do that, instead of maybe falling into some lower energy stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at some messages here from the oracles. So I have play coming out. You're definitely, it's going to be like, yeah, it's like a very playful time. It's a very creative time. but there's going to be a swinging mood to it because there's these shifts with the consciousness, and anytime that happens, there's this the mood just swings. Your mood swings. So whenever that happens, whenever you have these, all of a sudden you're down, whenever you were feeling fine just a little bit ago, falling back into something that makes you feel playful, doing something that makes you, if it's turning on some music and dancing around, going for like a walk or something, I don't know, coloring, like stuff like that. Little things that you can do very quickly to kind of take your mind off of whatever's bothering you. And kind of like just change your perspective a little bit are really going to help, because when we're making these moves in our mind, when we're, releasing some toxic old stuff and replacing it with something better, it's energetically hard, and you usually don't feel all that great. You're feeling different things come up and different emotions, and you feel sad about certain things, and you just kind of have to write it out, and doing things that are play will help that. The real you is coming out. And so this is, again, like I was saying, like these shifts in these consciousness are happening because there's things that no longer serve you, and you're needing to step into your true self. You're needing to really see yourself for who you are. So if you, fall into these immature energies and the lower energies of these nights, you're not really being your true self. You're just falling into it because it feels good. It feels, there's a sense of safety in it. There's a sense of protecting yourself in it, but it's going to end up screwing you over later on the road, and you're going to have to go right back into this energy, right back into this shift, and do it again and again and again and again, as long as it takes. So, seeing yourself for who you truly are, what you truly want, is going to be a big theme, I feel, this month for you guys. Okay? So just make sure you take that massive energy that you're getting and put it to good use. This is a time that you could create something very, if you're working on something, if you're, out there on social media, if you're an artist, anything like that, if you're an athlete, if you're wanting to train for something, if you're wanting to change your lifestyle, change your diet or whatever, you're going to have a lot of power and support in order to do that. So go ahead and plan that out now. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if it resonated, what's going on in your life, if you have anything coming up that is kind of falling along these lines, and what your other placements are. I love to know that information. So I hope you guys have a great August.